Hi, a very good afternoon to all of you. Okay, so there is a major change in IGDR admission process for 2024. Okay, morning में ही I already informed all of you on our official Telegram group that that there is a change in the IGDR admission process for this year. ठीक है, so all of you must have already seen that post that we shared on our official Telegram group right in the morning. ठीक है. Further, honestly speaking, if I tell you in particular precisely, we already knew that this year the interview stage won't be there. As recent as like 7-10 days back, we knew that this year the interview stage won't be there. But until and unless there was an official confirmation, we had to wait and we couldn't declare it in open. But we already knew that this year IGDR won't have the interview stage, unlike the previous years. Okay. One of the major reasons for that can be the association under CUET. Okay. So when you tend to change your admission process, okay, and especially when it's the very first year of yours under a different entrance process, okay, so you're still evaluating the entire thing, right? So IGDR for the very first time came under the umbrella of CUET, okay, like any other university they have been following, okay. The usual process was कि of course आपका IGDR का self interview self test होता था. IGDR specific entrance test was there, followed by a interview stage. ठीक है. And both the stages had their own weightage. दोनों का अपना एक अलग weightage होता था. Of course, majority of the weightage went to the IGDR entrance exam, and pretty low weightage was given to the interview stage. But at the end of the day, दोनों ही stages काफी important थी, and without both, the admission were not possible at IGDR. ठीक है. However, this year when they enter the CUET bandwagon, right? That time also, let's just go ahead and see the initial process that they mention. ठीक है. ये आपका IGDR का एडमिशन का होम पेज है, करेक्ट. सो इफ यू नोटिस राइट ओवर हियर, तो ये है आपका ओरिजिनल नोटिफिकेशन, correct, which states in the admission notice issued by 26th of January for the admission to MSc at IGDR commencing in August. तो जो आपका जो कोर्स होगा that will start in August, that is one thing separate. Selection of the candidate was to be based upon the performance in CUET PG exam and an interview. ठीक है. सो जो ऑफिशियल नोटिस था, जो ऑफिशियल अंडरटेकिंग थी, जो ऑफिशियल गाइडलाइंस थी, उसके अकॉर्डिंग द एडमिशन वाज सपोज्ड टू बी अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ बोथ द CUET एग्जाम and the interview, similar to the all the previous years जो IGDR have been following for years. ठीक है. नाउ अगर आप यहीं पे एडमिशन के होम पेज पे अगर आप जाओगे, यूजुअली आप सब ने इसको आइडियली बुक मार्क कर लिया होगा, तो यहाँ पे अगर आप जाओगे, देयर इज कोरेंडम 28th of May, which means a changed notification. Corrigendum means a changed or updated version of any document, ठीक है, or any guideline or any press release, correct. So because they have published the latest, which is 28 today, but we already knew the interview stage won't be there, correct. So this is dated 28th of May. अगर आप इस पे क्लिक करोगे, it won't reflect. ठीक है. तो बेसिकली यहाँ पे उन्होंने अभी लिंक नहीं लगाया हुआ है. यहाँ पे आपको लिंक नहीं मिलेगा और आपको अपडेटेड इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं मिलेगी. लेकिन जब आप IGDR के होम पेज पे जाओगे, विच इज दी होम पेज ऑफ IGDR, igdr.ac.in, वहां पे इफ यू लुक एट द latest at IGDR section, correct, latest at IGDR section, there you will find Corrigendum again. यहाँ पे जो लिंक है, when you click over here, तो यहाँ आके आपको लेटेस्ट अपडेटेड नोटिफिकेशन रिफ्लेक्ट होना शुरू हो जाएगा, करेक्ट. सो ये जो है ये अपडेटेड गाइडलाइन है, ठीक है. दिस ओवरसीड्स, ठीक है, लॉ में बोलते हैं ओवरसीड्स, विच मीन्स कि जो भी आपका प्रीवियस एग्रीमेंट है, गाइडलाइन से नोटिस है, जो अभी रिलीज किया है, दैट ओवरसीड्स दैट प्रीवियस वन. ठीक है. तो बेसिकली अब ये जो है ये गाइडलाइन होल्ड करेगा इररिस्पेक्टिव पहले जो भी उन्होंने मेंशन किया हो. ठीक है। सो पहले वाले सारे के सारे गाइडलाइंस विल बी नल एंड वॉइड, करेक्ट। सो अगेन अब आप जब यहाँ पे आ जाओगे तो उन्होंने पहले वाला भी यहाँ पे मेंशन किया हुआ है, करेक्ट, जो हमने अभी रीड किया, विच वॉज डेटेड 26 जनवरी, जो उनका यूजुअल पैटर्न था कि सीयूटी एंड इंटरव्यू, करेक्ट। लेकिन द अपडेटेड वन, यहाँ पे तीन छोटी सी लाइंस हैं, बट दैट चेंजेस द entire system or opportunity for students to get into IGDR, right? And how does that happen? IGDR has now decided to waive the requirement, to waive off the requirement of an interview as part of the selection process for the admission to the above course. And it is noted that selection will be done solely on the basis of candidates' performance in CUET PG Economics 2024 एग्जाम, ठीक है। सो उन्होंने दो तीन चीजें इस इन तीन लाइन में इंपॉर्टेंट है, विच इज waiving of the entire requirement of interview. No more interview will be required. No more you will be required to visit the campus of IGDR in Goregaon, Bombay, right? You don't have to be present there physically because interview stage is not there. So it's waived off, correct? Now, secondly is that the selection will be done solely on the basis of CUET PG 2024 का score. Completely, solely, only one stage, which is the CUET PG का score. Now, overall, this is the only updation that they have made. This is the final decision that they have come up with, correct? So now this is the information, correct? Now let's come up to the ki how will it impact the students, okay? So when it comes to the entire process, we were of the view कि एक interview stage होगा, which means कि जिन बच्चों के marks उतने अच्छे नहीं हैं, correct, they might be able to cope up in the interview stage to a certain extent, क्योंकि अगर मेरे को for example 20-25% भी अगर वेटेज मिलती थी इंटरव्यू की, देन आई कुड हैव काइंड ऑफ कवर्ड अप समथिंग और द अदर, ठीक है, विच आई हैव माइट हैव मिस्ड इन अपना सीयूटी के एग्जाम में। कम मार्क्स थे बट आई वुड हैव काइंड ऑफ कवर्ड अप इन माय इंटरव्यू, एंड टू अ सर्टेन एक्सटेंट थोड़ा बहुत मेरे को हेल्प मिल जाता ना, आई वुड हैव बीन ऑन द लाइंस ऑफ द कट ऑफ, ठीक है। बट दैट इक्वेशन, दैट प्रोबेबिलिटी इज कंप्लीटली गॉन नाउ, ठीक है। तो कोई भी सिनेरियो में देयर इज नो मोर an opportunity to kind of bug up and retrieve points, marks through an interview. It's completely आपका exam. Now, the score is even more important. अब जब आपका CUT का score और ज़्यादा important हो जाता है, which means कि the cutoffs might be impacted. When we say cutoff might be impacted, which means that they can come up with a very high cutoff in this scenario. Possibility है, लेकिन the issue which I have is कि if they come up at a very high cutoff stage, then I know कि students would any day prefer to go to Delhi School of Economics, ठीक है? They might even go and prefer JNU as well. And of course, IGDR stands tall among all these institutions, but students will still have that notion कि I want to go to DSC only. I don't want to go to any other institution. ठीक है? So that will play a vital role, and there will be a situation wherein a lot of seat shifting will be there. Seat vacating will be there. ठीक है? Empty seats will be there, or because I know students might also prefer IGDR over DSC for the fact कि DSC is even more quantitative according to them, and there are multiple news or information which their seniors share with them, and that kind of nudges them to go for IGDR over DSC. So that's a debate for another day, right? And it also depends upon a student to student's requirement as well, right? So let's not get into this, but there will be a lot of seat shifting for sure, which means कि लास्ट मोमेंट पे भी सीट्स निकल सकती हैं. देयर कैन बी वैकेंट सीट्स एट ईदर ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशन और एनी ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूशन, चाहे वो आईजीडीआर हो, डीएससी हो, चाहे वो जेएनयू हो. Because ideally, when we talk about the top three ones, we will keep these as the top three institutions, जो सबका target रहेगा. Then of course you have Gokhale as well, HCU, BHU, DTU and so on. There are multiple universities. ठीक है. But सबसे ज्यादा जो fight रहेगी, सबसे ज्यादा जो competition रहेगा, that will be among these three universities. DSC, JNU, IGDR, that is for sure. Correct. And they can't now that they have removed the interview stage, so it will be tricky situation for even for the students to decide, because there is no other process now. All of you can just sit, relax, and just wait for the final cutoffs or the marks, whichever they want to release as soon as possible. Okay. So all of you have already given your best in your exam. There is no other stage on which, or no other scope of improvement which you can use to get admission into IGDR. Okay. So this is of course, if someone is targeting ISI MSQ, then it's best. You are not getting into this fight of getting which institution, DSC, IGDR or JNU. So any student who is already targeting ISI, they're already sorted in that regard. No doubt about that. Okay. So this is it. This is about the latest information from IGDR. And once again, wish all of you best of luck. Let's see how the cutoffs come out to be, or kitni lists होंगी, how many lists will come out, and exactly क्या highest cutoff रहेगा, क्या lowest cutoff रहेगा, that remains to be seen. और अगर मैं आपको कोई random number दूं, honestly speaking, अगर मैं आपको कोई random number दूं, which I can give, but that is completely unjustified. It doesn't come up with any basis whatsoever. कोई grounds नहीं है, कोई basis नहीं है to give you any random number at this stage. ठीक है? Because the admission process has completely changed because of this one particular stage. One thing I can say, that it will be on a higher side, and on a higher side, I can look at around 210 plus के आसपास या 200 plus के आसपास का कट ऑफ तो रहेगा ही रहेगा. This is what I feel, but I can't give you any bracket as such post that, because there is honestly no ground whatsoever on which we can rely on and give you any number. ठीक है. Also, please ignore the initial this what do you call notice जो उन्होंने already यहाँ पे mention किया हुआ है. It's completely null and void at this stage, so you will have to focus on the latest updated. ठीक है. So when the selection process will start, I guess within a week or 10 days, I guess. ठीक है, because today is Tuesday, they have published this. ठीक है, so by next week, max to max, or 7 to 10 days के आसपास working days में your selection process should start, because the session starts in August. They need to wind up the entire process by July, max to max. So even in any case scenario, it goes to second list or third list, they will have to kind of complete the entire process as soon as possible. So 7 to 10 working days is ideal for the next stage, which is the selection list. Okay, selection process might start within 7 to 10 working days. Okay. Again, Pratibha, I can't comment on the cutoffs, but I see at least 200 plus should be the one. In fact, उसके ऊपर होगा, but I'm giving you a lower number of 200, wherein the cutoff would be. But I expect them to go a bit higher, so that they can have a good set of students according to them. And this is what I feel. And overall, it's a good decision, and let's see how it goes this year, and accordingly they will decide in the subsequent years. So 200 plus is a number, but I can't suggest any concrete cutoff, because there are no basis, no grounds on which I can give that any random number just for the sake of giving it, right? So I would say that. Okay, Mridul, we will try to come up with that. Even today, I wanted to start this session early, but you also know that there are semester exams for students as well, and we need to make sure that they have exam tomorrow, right? So we need to share some content for them as well. That's why I couldn't come up early with this session. and we'll take into consideration about ISI as well. And let's see when we can upload that ISI cutoff sheet. Okay. Any particular doubt except for the fact of asking the cutoff? If you want to ask anything, then please feel free to ask. Okay. Meanwhile, okay. And I won't suggest ki, I guess this process is straightforward now. There is no more doubts or queries which remains to be answered. So it's pretty straightforward. Even if still, if you have any, you may just drop them. But I guess this year they have sorted it, so nothing as such. Yeah. So what I wanted to share was, yeah, I can't give any number on any general EWS or any category. I can't give you any particular number in terms of cutoff because there is no ground. ठीक है, but I can say कि हाँ 200 के आसपास for general category at least should be there. And based on that, let's see how the other things come up and then we'll decide. And we might just come up with a cutoff session, but that will depend upon certain information that we need to acquire. ठीक है, उसके बाद only we can come. So we'll see. ठीक है. Yeah, so wanted to share the number of seats एक बारी आपके साथ so that all of you know कि now that the interview stage is not there, it's solely completely based on your CUET PG score. You also need to be aware. मतलब I know काफी students शायद already देख चुके होंगे कि how many seats are available. But still, because now we are discussing a changed version of admission, so I thought of sharing that with you. ठीक है? So this is the seat matrix for IGDR. ठीक है? अगर आप यहाँ पे notice करोगे, overall they have approximately 50 seats, right? Whereas they have divided it category wise: SC4, ST4, SC8, OBC NC, NCL 13 with PWD1, General EWS 5, UR 20 with 1 PW के साथ total 50 seats in total that they are offering as a batch. तो जो बच्चे पूछ रहे थे कि batch size क्या रहेगा, so overall the batch size would be around 50 students. या मृदुल, ये जो आपका ब्रोशर है ना, ये यहाँ पे आपको सारा इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाएगा, कोर्स स्ट्रक्चर एंड एवरीथिंग व्हाटसोएवर यू वांट टू इंक्वायर अबाउट, सारी इंफॉर्मेशन इस डॉक में है. ठीक है, तो ये रहा आपका सीट का मैट्रिक्स. आई होप दैट्स क्लियर. और विद द सीट मैट्रिक्स काफी बच्चे विड बी अ बिट वरिड कि नंबर ऑफ सीट्स ऑलरेडी 50 है, नॉट मच सीट्स आर अवेलेबल, right? So how we will deal with that? But of course, अगर आप notice करो, overall 50 seats is a good batch size that any university or college can offer, right? So it's a good decent batch size that they are offering. Okay, ठीक है. Now that we are talking about admission process, another thing very important: admission to MSc program will be treated as provisional subject to meeting the eligibility requirement as applicable. The final official mark sheet of the qualifying degree as relevant must be submitted by 15th of September. Okay. So basically nothing but common criteria कि अभी जो भी आपने documents दिए हैं, जो भी process किया, that's all provisional. And of course, like any other university, you will have to submit the final originals by 15th of September. ठीक है? Okay, okay. Even unke brochure mein interview was written, but you need to kind of avoid that. Okay, so this is hostel fee and payment all done. So all the students who are asking कि कैसा पूरा अगर course structure चाहिए, शायद आपको यहाँ पे easily मिल जाएगा. The best part about IGDR is, of course, their internship and placements, right? And not only the companies that come to their campus, but also the quantum of the package that they offer. ठीक है? even at the internship level, they get a good quality of stipend right at the internship level. And when you go for the final placements, that is almost equal at times, depends upon year to year. It's almost equal at times with ISIs or the DSCs for sure. Okay. So that is the one of the major plus points of IGDR. Suraj, I can't ask them for an interview. No one can request any institution to adjust their admission process solely because it's at their own discretion, which is best according to the institution, they will follow that, right? So we can't actually request them for that because it's their discretion how to process about it. Okay. Of course, they have their own hostel facility as well. Apart from that, these are the faculty profiles. That's it, I guess. No doubt, they have some of the best faculties that you can have as your guides, mentors, or teachers. Okay. So yeah, that's it from this particular session. Of course, Mridul was asking for the पूरा course structure, तो आप यहाँ पे भी देख सकते हो. ठीक है, it's right there for all the semester subjects they have already mentioned in over here. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I guess there is no other doc for a detailed one. क्योंकि अगर आपको डिटेल में जाना होगा ना, so you can go 1 second. हाँ, हाँ, ये रहा. अगर आपको डिटेल में चाहिए तो आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हो अपना कोर्स स्ट्रक्चर फॉर एमएससी इकोनॉमिक्स. It's more or less the same thing which is written in the prospectus as well in a nutshell. That's it. ठीक है. Okay, guys. For some, it will be a positive thing. For some, it might be a kind of negative thing because they thought कि अगर हमारा score कम आया है, we might just gain some marks in our interviews. But sorry for this year, they have revamped their admission criteria, so you can't do much. But let's see, let's hope कि cut off थोड़ा नीचे जाए so that even you guys who think that they wanted a chance or another opportunity via interview stage, they also get that chance. But honestly, थोड़ा सा tough रहेगा that the cutoff might go on a lower side because we expect them to be at least 200 above for sure for any category, ठीक है, to begin with. But let's see how it goes. Thank you so much for joining in, and we'll meet in another session.